Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It has been quite some time since my last video. It's been over a month, but I was at work earlier and Raf has dropped his latest gameplay for War of the Worlds, and what I saw from the title is very interesting. It is some tripod gameplay for the first time, like properly. We've seen tests in the past. I'm not sure if those videos are even still live on his channel, but we have 20 minutes of new gameplay, and as usual, your boy is here to analyze them and see what it's all about, shall we? So let's jump straight into the new gameplay. Okay, here we are. Let's whack this up. No, don't play yet. I'm not ready. We are dropping this straight into 4K, even though I only have a 2K monitor. But let's go, shall we? Let's see what this is. I am really excited. It's been a while since we've had new gameplay, so... Oh, okay, so... There we go, there is audio, that's good. Now, we've seen some of this before. They did some reworks. They did a 100% movie accurate tripod, and this is the backup tripod. I've seen like early artwork of this. Let's move this mic a little bit further down. Yeah, so this is their backup just in case things go bad with licensing and whatever, in case they get in a bit of trouble. Oh, it's a little bit... loud. But yeah, it looks really good, and it looks still very close to what they had before. So let's see, pre-alpha, work in progress gameplay. Okay, so this looks like it's like a powering up sequence, climbing out of the ground. You've got the rocks and stuff. I'm not sure if this is just an animation or if it's actually like proper gameplay. I mean, it says pre-alpha gameplay, it must be. It's behind where I am on the screen, but it's there. You can see where it says work in progress, but yeah. That is so cool, man! Oh, I didn't think it'd be this epic. Like, I didn't know what to expect in terms of like how it would start off, but wow. Whoa, 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 whoa. There's a lot of buttons there. I'll tell you what, we'll come back to this. There's going to be a lot to take in here, I think. But let's just enjoy it for now. We can see there's a health bar and there's a Tentacles thing. Oh god, this... Breathe. There's too much to unpack, man. Okay, so you can see like an impact point from where his mouse cursor is. It looks very high up. Like, it seems... Have they upscaled the models of the tripods a little bit? It seems very tall compared to what it was. Unless it's just because it's a new angle we've not seen before. Yeah, we've got the powering up sounds. Here we go. There's a blood meter as well. Ooh, interesting. This is like a totally different like perspective that we've not seen yet. This is crazy. Oh yeah. So is there like a meter? Oh yeah, look, so you can see the meters on the bottom left and right. Obviously not on the right so much, but the different heat rays have like a certain charge up or something. It's like that you use them and then it recharges, but that's so good. I love the overlay, like almost it's like you're looking at it through a camera. You're not just looking at it like it's, you know, through your eyes. You're looking at it through a screen. Oh damn. Is there new physics with the vehicles? Like, he's sending cars move a little bit, like with the heat ray, which obviously we know they do in the film, but like I wonder if he's improved the physics a little bit on vehicles. Got the clothes flying up. Oh man, this is so good. Just seeing all the little people running away. Oh, that car went flying. Oh my god. Oh, the potential. Oh, there's so much potential to have a good time with this. I love the impacts, like seeing the flames and stuff come out of the ground. It's really nice. I'm not sure if that's a new change. I can't really tell from this far away. Like, I know they changed the fire effects and the heat ray impacts in the past, but I'm not sure if this is another change. It would not surprise me at all if he's changed it again with the new gameplay. Oh, it's so satisfying, man. I can't wait to just laser through houses and launch vehicles. He's killed 68 already in that short space of time. So what's that icon in the middle? It was going kind of going up and to the left. Oh, the spotlights, man. Oh, everything about this is so good. Oh. I've never been so mesmerized by destruction. It's beautiful. I'm giddy. I am so giddy because it's like this is the first time that we're looking at this sort of gameplay and not being like, whoa, that's scary. It's like, whoa, this is awesome. There's no horror involved anymore. I love the camera movement. I am not sure if he's going to change it, but please don't. Like, seeing the head bobbing up and down, like, it's so good. And like when you occasionally see the little heat ray arm come into view, it's like it really gives you the impression that you're in a moving thing that's walking, you know? Oh, a nice third person angle. What's this all about? What's he doing here? He's got quite a bit of blood there now. 142 humans killed. So what's he doing here then? He's stopped. There's a little down-powering kind of sound. Oh, he's loads of... Oh, the tentacles are coming out. Okay. Interesting. So from what it looks like, you can see the red haze. Oh, is he about to... Yep. That lovely sound. I like how he's walking. It actually, like, will step on top of buildings now. Like... Buildings and the legs clipping into each other were an issue in the past. But it seems to, like, navigate over buildings a lot more. It would be interesting to see, like, a leg just go, like, cleave through a building. We might see that when dynamic destruction is implemented. But, like, if a building's in your way, just kick your way through it. Right, here we go. We're going to watch Tentacles, I think, here. A nice little test subject, yes. Good specimen. Oh, it just yeeted her off the ground. I like that. I tell you what, I was not expecting it to look this fluid, like this. Well, not maybe no, fluid might not be the right word for it. Polished, definitely polished. I was expecting a lot more jank. He's got a nice amount of humans in the cage there. I keep looking down at those hotkeys on the bottom left, but we'll come back to that because it looks very interesting. Maybe some of the questions I have will be answered in the gameplay. There's a lot of gameplay here. So there's another little indicator there, bottom right. Is that like a person spotted, or what is that exactly? Is that like noise detected or movement? Oh, it looks like it's like someone's been spotted, so it's pointing out the direction. Which is good, because like when you're in one of those things, you're not going to have a great view of individual people on the ground. Oh, it's just... Oh, nice. He's picked him up in third person. That's good. That looks a lot better, like the putting them in the cage. I don't think... He might go a little bit further with the polish on that, but I don't think it's necessary exactly with that, because like even from a close-up angle like that, it looks nice. But I know Raph is a bit of a perfectionist, so he's probably going to like tweak things more, which we all love. But goddamn, like now I'm seeing all this, I'm just like, give us early access, man. Give us early access. That's what we want. That's all we want. Just give it to us, please. I've been following this game for over a year now, and I know there's people in this community that have been following the game for a lot longer. So I can only imagine the pain that they're going through just watching all of this. But like, imagine being one of those first backers and followers of this and just seeing how much it's changed. I can see the difference in a year. I mean, in a way you can kind of tell there's now a small team behind this rather than just one individual. Which is no bad thing. Oh, here we go, we're probing now. I wonder how this is going to work. Okay. So, how is this going to work exactly? Okay, so he's controlling it. It looks like it's just... There's some very interesting keybinds there for controlling the movement. So the right... WASD is just forward, left, back and right as usual. J is left, like turning left. L is looking right. O is looking up and K is looking down. Okay. Very... But that's going to take some getting used to. Hopefully maybe... I mean, here's an idea. Maybe make it so it's the arrow keys on the keyboard. Maybe that will be better. Because then it's more natural to our hands. And then we can have our hands resting on WASD and on the mouse and keyboard. I think... Or sorry, on the arrow keys. That would maybe work better. I think there's going to be a bit of confusion with those keybinds. But again, this could change. But my initial takeaway here is have it so instead of those awkward keys for the turning, have it so it's arrow keys. That might work better, if that's possible. Maybe there was a reason why he didn't go straight with that, but my mind jumped straight to that. I never thought we would have this amount of control with the probe. And I love the perspective. Oh, he spotted someone, so now what do we do? What does he do now? He spotted someone. Is he just going to leave? It looks like it. So, right, he knows there's people in there. What's he going to do? Is he just going to blast the building to pieces? He's got 70 human kills. Let's see what he does. Oh, he's not going to show it. That's a shame. Okay, so you're going to grab that guy, I assume. Oh, you got someone else. I'm assuming, yeah, you can grab lots of people very quickly because obviously there's lots of tentacles. That's good. It's so weird, like, looking at it from the perspective of being the hunter now instead of the prey. Like, all we've seen up until this point is just the perspective of being the person that's being hunted. Now we're the ones hunting. And it's totally unique. And there are not many games with this kind of, like, atmosphere. Like, maybe some older games. Like, there's Destroy All Humans. That I played on stream months ago. That's got a similar kind of atmosphere in terms of, like, you're just like hunting down people in a spaceship. It's got a similar sort of vibe to that. It's like you're the powerful one, and it's nice in a game like this where it's going to make playing hunt like the aliens and the survivors two totally different games. Like this is nothing like it. It's almost like a completely different game. This game is going to stand out so much when it's done. Like, I know this game's getting attention from bigger YouTubers now. This is going to be really unique. Like, there's so many early access cash grab games out there that are just so similar to the last one. This one is so different. I honestly cannot wait for the NDA to lift and the betas to come out. Okay, so we've got some military involved now. Come on, power up those heat rays, baby. What the hell? Oh man, you just see the military vehicles got picked up. Does like capturing a soldier give you extra blood, extra harvest, bonus points? It's like when you run over a cyclist. Oh my god! Okay, so this is you getting hammered by the looks of it. I like the distortion effects on the screen, like you're feeling the impact of it. That's nice, and it obscures your view as well. That's so clever. I love it, I really do. Just seeing the shadow as well off to the side, it's like, ooh. I don't know why my brain went there, but it did. Deal with it. Imagine that's your mate. That's one of the boys with you. You're hunting together. Exterminating humanity with the boys. I mean, if you're going to wipe out all life on Earth, you might as well do it with your homies, right? You can see the kind of limitations here of the engine. You can see the rendering in of the terrain. Though I imagine it's been turned down a bit for the purposes of this angle. It is a bit off-putting, and it's going to be very hard for people in the distance to outrun a tripod. I would argue that it's actually going to be easier to survive a tripod if you're a little bit nearer to it, because the terrain will have loaded in. So maybe there's going to be an option. Maybe the graphics should be different if you're in a tripod, but like the render distance is higher. So that way, the more of the the actual foliage can load in. Oh, here we go. Right, so he's just been taken down. Oh, man. I love the new looks for that. That's incredible. There we go. Some more artwork by Theo Magic. Sorry if I've butchered your handle, but yeah, very nice artwork, man. I love it. Oh, these are some wallpapers. Can we get the full thing? Screenshots taken by close testers. Ah, yeah, these are some recent screenshots. None of these are mine, by the way. I haven't, honestly, I have to admit, I haven't played in a while. But if when this gets added in, 100% jumping back on. Oh, Bobby's Arts. I remember you, Bobby. That's a good screenshot, that is. That would be one that would be on like the Steam store page. That's very cool. I like seeing like the carcass of the tripod. That's so good, man. I love the destruction. Is that like the plane destruction? Hang on, let's go back. Is that plane destruction, or is that just the chaos, the debris from it falling? Because if that's the debris from it falling, that is really cool. That like it actually impacts the terrain and changed it. Because that looks very detailed. Like it's not just some cheap ragdoll that's fallen down. It's actually carved out like into the ground and destroyed the terrain as it's gone down. That's very cool. That's like Levolution that Battlefield needs to aspire to more. Another great screenshot. That's like apocalyptic level. That is incredibly good, that screenshot. Whoever did that, well done. Because you caught that at a great moment. Like, that literally looks like the end of the world outside of that window. Because it's just destruction and smoke everywhere. That is a fantastic screenshot. Okay, that is all of the gameplay. So now we're going to go through and analyze bits of this. There is like an insect flying around my desk lamp. So if you see flickering in the lights, apologies, it's summer, the windows are open, bugs are flying in. Honestly, I am blown away by the quality of that. I was not expecting it to be at that level. So let's get that volume on really low and let's take a look at this. So yeah, going through the list of things that I really like. So the actual rising animation, I never expected that we'd see that. I'm actually going to turn the quality down a bit. I think it's lagging my recording. But never thought that we would have this level of detail. I mean, I think part of the reason is because like all the War of the Worlds stuff that I've been looking at in recent times has all been Roblox War of the Worlds. So, and how far can you go really with Roblox? So seeing a like game built from the ground up to be a War of the Worlds game, it's on another level. Like playing Roblox is like a game mode. War of the Worlds game mode is like they're good and it's impressive to see what you can do with it, but at the end of the day it's just a game mode and they are limited. So having this sort of thing, it just goes to show like the level of quality. It like Roblox game modes will put this up higher on a pedestal. Like the quality is so much better. I don't want to like talk down about the people making the Roblox game modes, but like they will not be able to compete with this. The upside is that Roblox is free, all the game modes are free, but there will be it basically it highlights the reasons to why you should buy this, like because you are paying for a quality game. So let's have a look here at these little commands we've got. So we've got raise tentacles, lower tentacles, toggle sneak mode. I don't know if we saw much of that, to be honest. Sound horn, we know what that does. Crouching, harvest. So harvesting, I would imagine that is the people in the cages. Like I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to piece together what each element does for it. So obviously you'll grab people, put them in the cages, you'll then harvest them, and that will give you blood. And then when you've got a certain amount of blood, you can spray blood. And what we know from previous gameplay is that when they spray the blood, that will impact your health. So my mind is jumping straight to, like, why would you want to use that if you're playing as the Martians? And simple reason being, if you're trying to hunt down a person, let's say it's another player, and he's hiding in a house and you can't get to him, well, just spray some blood over the building, and that will start damaging the health, and that will flush the player out. So that's a really good mechanic, because it's, yeah, alright, you've got these really powerful laser beams and stuff, but like if someone's being a little rabbit, like running from rabbit hole to rabbit hole, just being a dirty little rat, okay, how do you get them out? Well, that is your answer. You will just spray blood over the house, and that will force them to have to leave, or at least change position, and you might have a window of opportunity to kill this player. So I really like that. I'm glad that we get manual controls for all of those things, because you can spray blood whenever you want. I know from way back in the past when talking to Raf that he said he was going to put a limit on how much you can spam the horn, so you're not going to annoy people when you do play multiplayer. So you've got spray blood, grab targeted humans, shoot heat rays, probe. That really impressed me, actually. Let's go to the probe. Actually, let's quickly see. There's select tentacle 0 to 9. Okay, so that's what the hotbar along the bottom is for. So you can basically just run your hand along your keyboard and just start like highlighting different people, and all of your tentacles will go out together in unison. Speed up, so there's a little bit of a sprinty sprint. Select the tentacles, yep, deploy heat rays and detract heat rays. So it's good that you're going to be using both. And I know that a lot of people in the past have, like, I myself have said, like, you know, you've got the harvester tripod and you've got the like heat ray tripod, and everybody has said for ages that they are the same. Some of them are just harvesting, and some of them are just zapping people. And the only ones that you can see in the film that can do both of those things are the Uber pods. So that's, to me, why back in the day I said there was 3 different classes of tripod, because some of them only do one thing. But obviously, in this case, they're changing that so you can do both. I don't know if that's going to be an exclusively player thing, or if now the AI tripods will also be able to do both. I wouldn't think so, because he's trying to keep it movie accurate. So, like, he's having to stray a bit from movie accuracy for the gameplay purposes of playing as one of these. But at least you know that you can do both, and I think that's a good thing in this case. I still would like to see there being harvester pods and fighter pods being separate things as AI. But if you can make it work with AI, then I don't see what the problem is with that. I think that's going to be a lot more complicated coding. But I think there's an up and a down to having this, because if you're playing multiplayer and you've got like AI pods, for example, walking around, and then you have a pod that's walking around that's deploying heat rays, deploying tentacles, you know straight away that is a player, because AI won't be able to use both. So there's some upside to that, but also a downside, because you know that if it's a player, they're going to be a lot more intelligent, so it might alter the way you play. So I'm not quite sure how he's going to figure that out, but I don't think I'm in much of a position to decide on whether that's a good thing or not. Maybe you can enlighten me in the comments. Do you think that AI should have the opportunity to use both the heat rays and the tentacles, or should you keep it so one's, you know, of the other? The downside to that being, or potential upside being, that you'll be able to spot a player tripod way off, because if they're using both sets of equipment, you know that that's only players can do that. So I would be interested to know what you think on that. I definitely need to speak to Raf and maybe try and do another Q&A, because I've got a lot more questions for him now. Every time he releases new gameplay, he answers plenty of questions, but he always leaves me with more. So I'll try and speak to him and try and do a Q&A. Once I've got confirmation of whether I'm going to do a Q&A, I will ask for you guys to submit questions, and I'll do hopefully a live stream again. So I really like the extermination gameplay. I think, I'm not, again, like I said earlier, I'm not too sure if that's new, the fire effects, but one thing I do love is the vehicles, like just being able to yeet them away. That seems to be a lot more improved, because before, like, if you were in a vehicle or a vehicle got hit by a heat ray, it would just instantly transform into like a carcass. All of the bits would fall off of the car, and it was kind of like underwhelming, but it seems to have changed now. Like, you'll be able to throw vehicles around, and you can feel the impact and the power of the heat ray. It will be even better once there's dynamic destruction, because like here where it was zapping the building, it will just be able to cleave straight through the roof and take people out. I think that's going to make a lot more interesting gameplay, because if you can just like lean over the top of a building that you know a person's in and just start zapping at it, like poking holes in it. That's going to be great gameplay for both you and the survivor, because that person's going to be like panicking, running from room to room, trying to stay hidden and get out of sight whilst you're poking holes in the ceiling trying to find him. That's going to be a great like dynamic in gameplay. And like I said earlier, this kind of gameplay is so different to what we've seen. Like, it's not a horror game anymore. This is just some sort of like tactical strategy game. Like, how do I flush out these insects on the ground? Like, it's no scary factor to it at all. Maybe the only slight scary factor is when there's military vehicles later on and maybe your shields can get taken down. I don't think there's anything here about shield health, so you'll obviously just get to a point where your shields won't work anymore and you'll be staggering around a bit more, and that's when you're going to be vulnerable. But you kind of know the game is at its end at that point. But I suppose you've got a certain amount of time to try and get loads of kills and try and eliminate the other players. I'm not quite sure how the multiplayer mode is going to work. I did speak to Raf and ask him about it, and he's still not properly even begun work on multiplayer, so it's so up in the air right now to what that's going to be and how the game modes are going to be. We know there's going to be a co-op mode where it's like all humans players versus AI tripods, and then there's going to be one where it's both, where you're playing as both the humans and the Martians, and it'll be like a versus mode, a bit like Left 4 Dead in that sense. So we know those are going to be the two modes, but we don't know what the objectives are going to be. There's going to be an immense god complex amongst the people that mainly will play Martian, I think. That's no bad thing. It's going to be such an interesting game. There's going to be so much replayability, because you could spend an evening just playing Survivor, and then the next day you can jump on and be like, screw it, I'm just going to play Martian today, you know, and just play from that perspective, and it's going to be a completely different experience. I love the spraying blood. It's like you can turn it on and off, like you hold down the button. Let's go back a bit, see if the blood meter, how much it goes down. Okay, so it goes down in chunks. I've just had a thought in my head. Like, if you have it so you hold the button down and you can see the blood meter going down, maybe that would be good, because you kind of like, you can use it for as long as you want, so you can just completely smother an area if you want to. I think that would be a good idea. So maybe change it so instead of it being just press it and a chunk of your blood disappears. Oops, sorry, I knocked the mic. So a chunk of your blood disappears and you spray for a certain amount of time. Maybe have it so you hold the button down and you can see the blood meter going down, and you can choose to spray as much as you want in one area. So you can kind of like, it gives you a bit more of control when you can kind of let loose a little bit. So if there's a lot of people in one area, you could just be like just everywhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just absolutely spray the blood out all over the place. I would like that, but I would understand if he didn't do that. Maybe it's a bit more complicated than that. I'm not a game developer, but that's my little bit of feedback there. I would really like that. He's gone on above and beyond with the probe. Like, the probe, I remember when he was first talking about the probe and I was like asking him questions about it. He had no idea how he was going to do it. He was like, oh yeah, it might have to be like a point and click kind of thing because of the programming, and especially when you add AI into it. Like, he was like baffled at the time, and now we are manually controlling it, the probe going in and out. Like, I never saw this coming. Nobody saw this coming. Like, I don't think anybody knew this was going to be possible, having this level of detail. Like, being able to look in yourself. I imagined back when he was first implementing the probe that when you're playing as the Martians, you just press a button and the probe, you'll like snap into a position and the probe will automatically do its thing and then like alert you when it finds someone. But instead, he's gone above and beyond, and we will be able to manually control this probe with, like, you can literally go anywhere in the building and you can explore it to your heart's content. And there's no specific way you have to go. Like, you can see he's just choosing, like, I want to go in this way now, I want to go back that way now, and just like explore. And then it's like, oh look, there's a person, and then goes in. Like, now you found what you want. It's like, okay, let's just back out and demolish this building, you know? Like, you've got complete freedom, and I never saw that coming. I mean, now that it's here, I mean, the controls are basic, but it doesn't need to be complicated. It really doesn't. The fact that we have that freedom is perfect. I have worn myself out. I need to take a breath. I have been rambling. I love that. It's really good. I think, Raf, you have done an incredible job, and your team. Obviously, we know you're not working on your own anymore. You've got a great group of people, really talented team. And this just goes to show, this puts AAA companies to shame. You think the state that some of these big games come out in, like, I know this was a few years ago now, but look at Fallout 76. That is a huge company, and that was in a state. And, like, I know that Fallout 76 is a different kind of game, but I'm just trying to put an example out there. He's perfected the way the tentacles float around now as well. They used to be really dangly. They would just hang down all phallic-like and sway around, but like they actually float and waft around a lot more, and I like that. It gives them more of an alive feeling. So yeah, okay, so this is technically a bit of UberPod gameplay. Unless I've been dumb this entire time. Let's go back to this third person. Was that an UberPod or is that a regular tripod? It looks like it might be a regular one. Let's see, as he pans around. Yeah, that's just a plain old tripod. Okay, so you can play as both UberPod and... So that's good to know that he's already got implement. I suppose it's not that hard. Once you've got one of the tripods down, you can implement it for the Ubers as well. But god damn! Oh, there was a lot to unpack there. Wow. That was really, really good. I didn't really know what to expect other than... I mean, okay... We know at this point, like, we've seen some of the earlier gameplay releases when, like, a new feature gets added. We're all mind blown by it, but it's like, it's nothing really that, like, polished about it. It's just a rough new feature that he's like, here it is, guys. It's in its first implementation. It's like the red weed when he first implemented that. We were all blown away by it, but, like, when you look back at the new, like, from the new red weed we've got now to the old version that he had, it looks so much better. Like, everything that he releases now, alright, we have to wait longer in between gameplay, but what he shows us is polished already and looks so much better. Like, it definitely feels like I said it with the last gameplay when that came out a couple of months back, it feels like the game is coming together a lot more now. It's only a matter of time until early access is upon us. It's got to be on the horizon now because all of these core features are now getting implemented, and oh, I can't wait. I really can't. Like, every time new gameplay comes out, it renews my hype for this game. I get a little bit burnt out after a while in between big gameplay updates because there's nothing new to show, or there's nothing new to really look at. Like, there is for me and other close testers and Patreon members, but there's nothing for me to talk about in videos, so it kind of burns me out a little bit because I enjoy sharing this and talking with everyone about it. So it's so good to see new gameplay. It's really good to be back after a month away. I will be doing some streams, playing some like Roblox War of the Worlds, so keep an eye out for that. I'm hoping to do that very soon. I'm not entirely sure when, but I'll let you know as early as I can. Obviously more videos on Roblox War of the Worlds will be coming at some point when I get the time to sit down and make them. But whenever I see new gameplay for FlipSwitch's War of the Worlds, I have to get on it straight away. It's like an obligation at this point. It has to be done. So I'm going to now go and edit this and hopefully have it up at some point this evening. We shall see. But yeah, let me know all of your thoughts on this new gameplay in the comments. I hope you're excited and as impressed by it as I was. Cannot wait to see what comes next, because I haven't got a clue. Like, at this point, what else is there to come? Maybe more alien gameplay, something like that. Map expansions. At this point, your guess is as good as mine. I need to get back in touch with Raf and the other devs and see what the plans are, see what the next, because I can talk about Patreon stuff, I just can't show it. But what I'm not allowed to talk about is closed tester stuff because of the non-disclosure agreement. So I need to keep my eyes on the Patreon, and if you want to do that and get as informed as me, make sure you follow the Patreon and donate even just a little bit, just to support the development as it continues into its conclusion-ish, hopefully towards early access. You know, we've got to be getting there now, surely, at this point. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, like I said, thoughts in the comments. A special thank you to my members for supporting me financially. I really do appreciate it. If you would be so kind as to subscribe and turn on notifications, I really would appreciate it. And share this out with your friends and let them be aware of this channel and the games that I cover, mostly War of the Worlds. I'd like to branch out at some point, but yeah, if you're new, thank you for turning up and I hope you stay. If you are an original member or if you've been around for some time, I appreciate you coming back and sticking with me, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.